coming up next, we have an exclusive interview with Gina Genis from the Orange County Center for Contemporary Art. Welcome to the studio, Gina.
Thank you.
I am so glad that you were able to come down and hang out with us tonight. Gina is an artist. She is a musician and a vocalist, and we are very pleased to have her in the studio tonight. Welcome, Gina.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come down here and talk to us. Give us a little bit of background about the Center for Contemporary Art.
Sure. We are a nonprofit organization. We're artist-run. We're fortunate enough to own our own building. So we have 6,300 square feet. So it's a very large exhibition space. And we're all volunteers. We've been in existence for 45 years. And we're very fortunate that we're well respected. We get a lot of great reviews from everything from LA Times to even Time Magazine.
Excellent. I hear that you just recently had an event. It was a week ago Saturday.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that. I think it was an urban art show.
Yes. So we, along with our artist member shows, we also host open calls that are juried. And the one that we have currently running is called Urban Expressions. And we recently got a grant from the city of Santa Ana, and that opened a lot of doors for us to expand on what we do there. And one of the things was we now have a budget for live music during our openings. And that's how all of us here in the studio are together, because I contacted you, Michaela, for recommendations for a musician that would fit this particular type of show that we had, which is full of wonderful murals, street art, street photography. And I needed somebody that had the kind of music that would have the vibe for that show. And you recommended Vince, and I fell in love with his music. And I knew that I wanted to have him for the opening, and that's why we're all here.
Yay!
Yay!
Well, I'm so glad that that worked out. So how did the night go with the opening and the artwork and the music? And give us a little bit about how that all played out throughout the night.
Our openings are always on the first Saturday of the month, and that is the traditional Santa Ana Art Walk. So we get a lot of people that come through, but I can honestly say that Vince's music fit the show so well that people were not only coming in, but they were staying. It's one thing to have people come in and look at the art and appreciate it and then go on to the next place. But they were staying, and I noticed that, and it became very apparent when Vince and Rocky and Al took a break, because everybody disappeared. And I think Vince said, well, wait, we're only taking a break. We're coming back. Nobody really heard that. They just heard silence. Gone. They were gone. So the music has a lot to do, especially the right music. It has to be the right musician for the right show. And it just clicked so well. And I have to say, Vince and Rocky and Al, they're such professionals. They not only gave us extra time that they didn't have to, they didn't even take all the breaks they were entitled to. They were so on fire that night, and we're so appreciative of them coming out to help us out.
It was wonderful. I'd never done anything like that before, performing inside of a museum gallery in an art exhibit, right? So we first walked into the facility, and she hadn't been there yet. But I'm walking around going, the art is beautiful. I just dig art. So, and walking around, and then made a couple conversations on what we need to do, where we need to set up, and what have you. And so we did our sound check and finished about 6:15. By then, Gina and I had talked to each other. And I noticed that people were already starting to walk into the museum. I had no idea that the doors were open. I thought it was 7 because that was our time frame. But people had already started walking in at 6 o'clock, 6:15, and we just finished our sound check. And I said, hey, guys, it's raining outside. There's really nowhere to go right now. You know, we got our coffee. We're ready to roll. And I said, you want to just start? And so we started an hour and 15 minutes earlier than we normally, and we just started vibing. And it was wonderful. I had no idea what she's saying, that people were hanging out and just watching. She obviously knows the museum more than I do. The fact that the people were actually staying and she noticed that, it's nice to hear. I feel very appreciative in that perspective.
Gina, Genis from the Orange County Center for Contemporary Art. If anyone is interested in learning more about the center, where can they find your information online?
www.occca.org.
Three C's.
Three C's.
OCCCA.org. It is a nonprofit.